Of Enugu. I have memories of the coal city because as far back as 1988, the federal government of Nigeria had a system where we students that came from the north were conveyed from our various schools, from FGC Port Harcourt, FGGC Port Harcourt, FGC Owerri to Onitsha. We have buses that will convey us to the train station here in Enugu. And when we get to Enugu, each school had its coach. You will see your coach, FGGC Onitsha, FGC Owerri, FGGC this. You will see it. I experienced that Nigeria just for 1 year. From 1988 to 1989. The first experience I had of the train, it took us just 24 hours for me to get home to Kaduna. It was an exciting ride. It was an enjoyable ride. And I looked forward to it every time I had to come to school. But by 1989, when we had to go back home again, when it was time for holiday, they took us as usual in our school bus from Onitsha down here to Enugu. And we slept at the train station that night because the train could not make it to Enugu. As little kids, I was just 12 years old at that time. I cried my eyes out, and every other student that was there with me too, we cried because we were little kids. I remember that the ticket fare was 12 naira, but students were asked to pay 6 naira, which the federal government of Nigeria then would pay for us. 1989, I will never forget. And when the train finally arrived and we boarded the train, it would take us a week, 7 days to be precise, before we could get home. There was no food for us to eat at some point in time. There was no water for us to drink at some point in time. There was no water for us to have our bath at some point in time. At my own very young age, at 12 years, I started to watch Nigeria disintegrate. We spent 7 days on a journey that should take us 24 hours. And I speak to you as I speak to you right now. Up till now, that hasn't changed. From that 1989, I remember very well I could no longer use the train to come to school. My parents could no longer afford to use the train to transport me to school. They had to look for another alternative. That alternative was expensive for them, which was using the taxi to send me to school. So I had to resort to using night buses so that I could get to school early in the morning. My father will take me to the motor park and he will speak to the driver of the bus and he will tell him, "This is my daughter. She's going to school in Onitsha. Please, when you get there, put her in a vehicle that will take her to her school." Do you know what that meant? That we could trust each other as far back as 1989. My father could just put me in a bus from Kaduna to Onitsha. And there was no phone for me to speak to them. They wouldn't know whether I got to school safely or not. There was no way for them to find out whether I had gotten home, gotten to school or not. The only way they get to find out is when I write to my mom, because my father is a photographer. My mother was working at Ahmadu Bello University Teaching Hospital as a dentist. So at least she had an address that I could use to write to them. Dental Center PMB 2046, I will never forget. Today we can't even write letters and use those addresses anymore. We trusted each other. But today, what do we have? But even at that young age, I realized something, which as I grew older, I made the connection with it. When I got to school and my classmates heard me speak English, and I come from the north, they asked questions. How is it that you are able to speak English? Onye Hausa. That is the style stereotyping that we do to ourselves that the political class never does to themselves. President Muhammadu Buhari will not look at Vice President Kpakpando today and say, you Yoruba man. He will not do that. They sit and wine and dine on the same table, irrespective of their religion or ethnicity. It doesn't matter to the political class. Why should it matter to us? We are here. A generator is having to be used to power this system so we could hear ourselves. They say Nigeria is a giant of Africa. Nigeria is not a giant of Africa. Absolutely, as mommy just said, it is a dwarf. Nigerians are sleeping. How can citizens of a country, you are made up of over 100 and something million citizens, the political class put together, from the state assemblies to the local government chairmen, to the councillors, to the House of Rep members that are 360, to the senators that are 109, to the governors that are 36 in number with their deputy governors. They are not up to 1 million. Look at us. What have we done to ourselves? Look at us. 100, if we're 188 or 180 million Nigerians, what is happening to 188 million citizens? They are sleeping. When they talk, you say, oh no, I never chop food, I get to go house. My children never chop food. Your children not go chop food, or if you're not they interested in waiting, they happen to waiting, go give you that food. You go come market, nobody go come buy market, because money no day. The only way where money go there is if you and I realize the power that we have as citizens of Nigeria. Because no Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. We are all stakeholders in this country. I was telling some people here when we arrived, when they were asking me what the Red Card movement was all about. In my conversation with them, I told them if there's anything that angers me, is when I meet Nigerians like me and the first question they ask me is, where are you from? I am Nigerian. What do you want to do with where I am from? What you should ask me is, where do I live? Where I am from begins to sow division between you and I. The moment I tell you I am from Kaduna State, you begin to judge me. If you tell me you are from Anambra State, I begin to use what I have heard as Igbo, that Igbo people are known for, and I begin to judge you on that. But when you say you are Nigerian, I would only judge you based on what I know about Nigeria and Nigerians. Enough! In my village, there is an Igbo man in my village. I don't speak my language, but the Igbo man speaks my language. I come from a tribe from Kaduna called the Baju people, from Zangankataf local governments. There are a lot of Igbo people there. And I don't see them as different human beings. I see us as one. That Igbo man in my village speaks my language. His children speak my language. He owns the only supermarket that we have in our village. If he wasn't there, I wonder what supermarket we would have had in our village. The shoe I am wearing today, you would think is one designer shoe. It's 1,000 naira. We bought it from an Igbo man in front of Igu Square in Abuja. What is the reason why we shouldn't be where we should be today? It is as a result of a few people that 188 million citizens have decided to sell away their rights to. The public servants, the people in government should defer to you and I. When they see us, it's us they should be saluting, not us saluting them. Why should you see a governor and you begin to tremble? Who is he? Why should you see a local government chairman and you begin to tremble? Who is he?
My servant.
He's a public servant. Yes. If your vote did not matter, they won't buy it. Yes. If your vote did not matter, they won't come to you in your villages to give you a bag of rice and salt. Is that enough to feed you for 4 years of bad governance? No. They give you rice. They send their children to eat basmati rice in London. They give you local rice. They tell you, oh, Abakiliki rice. Yes, we want it. But let all of us eat Abakiliki rice. Plus you and your children. They tell you, come and fight for me. Where are their children when you are going to go and fight for politicians? Where are their children? Have you ever seen the children of politicians fight each other? Do you know what they do to themselves and the children? They marry each other. You don't ever see where rich man or political class marry person from this market. No matter how fine the girls find for you, won't get correct girls. They're not going to look them. Even when the children don't want to marry themselves, they go join the wedding together. Because they want to protect their wealth and their dynasty. Enabled by you and I. Because we sit down and do nothing. We sit down and judge each other based on religion and ethnicity. That has nothing to do with good governance. When somebody Suji was sharing the monument for the Northeast, do you know the people that were on that table sharing $2.1 billion? You are market people. I cannot quantify 2 point, but an Igbo man today will tell me the figure in Naira. That's how brilliant the people here are when it comes to business. There is no reason why Umar here that I grew up to know should not compete with China. Nobody should go to China to buy anything in Nigeria. We have what it takes to bring China to Nigeria. But that can only happen if you and I join hands today and say enough is enough. You think politicians do not know that you matter? They know. It is you that doesn't know that you matter. Because if you knew that you mattered, I tell you, you will not sleep on the fuel queue for days trying to get 1,000 naira fuel just to go and make money, and abandon going to go and queue for your PVC for 1 month. If you know what that PVC is, you will queue there for months to get it. Because no bagger can tell you anything when you have your PVC. In America, people knock on doors, governors knock on doors. Then you don't, now it's 4 years again, but when I don't begin to they see them, they show face now. That things when they put for glass now for motor, then go come out things. The way when they take pursue us for road, clear us for road with sirens. You know what they happen again now because they want to come into the people to deceive you again. Some of them go begin to enter keke na pep. They come sit down, they fry akara. That is not the new Nigeria we are going to. That is not the new Nigeria we are going to. The new Nigeria we are going to is the new Nigeria that will empower all of us equally. That we will get a sense of justice so that when they kill a citizen here in Enugu, the government in Abuja will speak and the criminals will hear from them. That is what we want, and we can make it happen. To those who say it can be done, guess what? It can be done. To those who say it can't, it also can't. That's your mindset. But for my mindset, the word is impossible instead of impossible. The word says I am possible, not impossible. All that we need is to come together. Office of the citizen is the highest office in the land. Don't ever let anybody deceive you. Whether they say you belong to the class of 5% that voted, your voices matter. Whether they say you are just 5%, you are Nigerians with equal stake. The oil wealth was not made for the political class. It was made to build Nigeria for all of us to thrive in it. Enough is enough. We must know that when they say injustice to one, it's injustice to all. It's serious business. You don't look away when your neighbor's house is on fire. Because if you do, guess what will happen? That is it. It is time we unite. And as I stand here, I tell you, like I said, I am a proud product because the education that I got was given to me by the Southeast. The benefit of the education that I have today, sometimes when I see my people from the north, I hate to do this, but I'll do it now just to break down issues. When they see us where we work at a supermarket owned by an Igbo man in Abuja. Great man, I must say, who sees no religion or ethnicity in what he does. One Nigeria is all he sees. And when people see me and my siblings, because we work together, and they would always ask, where are you people from? You work so hard. Sometimes I just want to push them to hear what they'll say. And when I say we're from Kaduna, they'll say, oh, you are not from the East? Can you see what is associated with the people of the East? Hard work. But we can change that hard work to working smart if government will provide us with what we need to grow and not have to be working so hard like this under the sun every day, under the rain every day. Their children are driving in cars of AC. We need that too. Security is not for the people in government. They drive around with tons of policemen. Who are they afraid of? The people that they said voted for them. If they said the people voted for them, they don't need security because their security is the people. If indeed the people voted for them, they do not need any security. Why should a local government chairman be driving around with 10, 20 policemen? What nonsense is that? Then you and I are left with what? You and I are left with what? Nigerians, wake up! We have sleeping giants in Nigeria. We said Ghana, and well, we said Ghana must go. Ghana has left us. Go and see Ghana today. You people travel a lot from the Southeast. Go and see Ghana today. We said India too must go home. I had Indian teachers. Today, where are they? We had Indian doctors. Today they come in as diplomats. They come back into this country with foreign plate numbers. And the country gives them first-class treatment. You and I cannot go to their countries and get first-class treatment. You know why? Because our country does not dignify us. Our country doesn't value us. So as soon as you step in with your green passport, you become, as far as they are concerned, a fraud has just landed in their country. We must change that, citizens of Nigeria.